I was studying for my math test and listening to music while I studied. My mom was on the phone talking to a relative in Pakistan about a wedding, and I took my earbuds out and I started eavesdropping. I wanted to know what was going on. And my mom said, "I don't know what wilted wallflower should wear to her wedding." What the hell? After she ended the call, she told me and my stepsister that we were going to Pakistan to visit relatives. I faked interest and pretended to be excited so she wouldn't get suspicious, but I am damn shocked, and I didn't know what to do. I went on travel.gc, and I also Googled a list of Canadian, French consulates and embassies in Pakistan. I'm afraid my mom or my relatives will take away my passport and never let me return to Canada. Then I'll be trapped in that shithole country with some stranger who will probably abuse me daily. My mom has talked about marrying me off to a guy because my grades are bad, and because I don't behave. I haven't been to Pakistan since I was 6, and I would never ever go back. I am ex-Muslim, and I hate all of my mom's relatives in Pakistan. I remember when I failed a chemistry test, and my mom said, "Your cousin got grades like yours, and that's why she was married off." Another time before I wrote my final exams, she said, "I'll find you a doctor husband because girls don't work." I am so scared, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave Canada. I know that we have to go to Paris, France first, and I am going to make a run for it when we land. I have dual citizenship with France, and my biological father lives in Paris. I haven't even called my dad and told him what was going on because I'm going to break down in tears and my snitchy stepsister will tell my mom and stepdad on me. On TV and YouTube, I have seen so many documentaries about Desi girls and forced marriages. I never knew that I was going to be one of those girls. Should I call the police before I leave? Or should I ask to go to the bathroom and run away? Update. Thank you so much for the advice. I am going to make another post about my plan and escape to France. Relevant comment. Someone asked, "Where in Canada are you located?" Edit. If you are anywhere in Ontario or willing to travel, I can give you a safe place to stay. I even drive. I'm not sure when your departure date is, but do not go. Pack as if you're happy you're traveling and run away. When you're far away from your mother and sister, then you call your father. See what he says. If there is any indication he is on your mom's side, do not go. If he is willing to take you in, you should go see him alone. Do not tell your mom of your travel plans. Original poster replied, "I am not in Ontario. I have called my father. My mom and stepsister don't speak French, so they didn't understand. My dad is a white French man, and he is not on my mom's side. Update 1 next day. First of all, I can't thank you all enough for this advice and support. I'd send you all muffin baskets if I could. It's the day after I found out about this forced marriage. It wasn't arranged because I haven't given my consent, and there's no way in hell I want to marry some old dam. At 16, a lot has happened in the past 24 hours. I have called my dad boyfriend, family members, and trusted friends. My best friend has given me a pocket GPS, and she said she will track my location and notify the police if I end up in Pakistan. But I have notified authorities. My dad was furious when I told him that my mom arranged a marriage for me. My boyfriend's parents said they would help me if my mom drained my bank account, or if I was taken to Pakistan, they would go there and take me out of Pakistan. I have printed off copies of my IDs and recent pictures I have given them to my friends and family. I also told my principal. I started taking cash out of my bank account so my mom can't drain it, but I don't want it to look suspicious, so I'm going to take it out in medium amounts and then hide the money in my safe. My dad said he would help me open a bank account in France, but I'm sure you have to be over 18. I hid my French passport and other IDs in my safe. Another thing I've done is that I am packing my belongings like my clothes albums, school transcripts, electronics books, etc. in boxes and shipping them to my dad's address. I don't know what I'll do with the cash. I have under $10,000, so I won't face a fine when at customs, but I'll have to declare it. My mom has also told me she doesn't care where I go or what happens to me. I have hid at my friend's house for a week once after she slapped me for getting a 12 out of 15 on a math test when I was in grade 7, and she didn't call once or anything. I am lucky that my friends let me stay with them. When my mom comes home, I'm going to tell her that I want to live with my dad. I don't know what her reaction will be, but I doubt she'll care. She cares more about my stepdad and his kid from a previous marriage. If my mom and stepdad agree, I can have freedom, no more Islam or abuse at home. If they agree, I'm going to call my dad and tell him to buy the plane ticket so I can leave Canada and live in France. I won't have a problem with immigration or anything, because I have a French passport. And I have mentioned that in the previous post. I know my dad can convince my dad to give up her parental rights and let him have sole custody. I'm sure my mom will lose her parental rights to me because of emotional, physical, and mental abuse. And this forced marriage is going to bring her down. LOL. I also have screenshots of my mom's text messages about this marriage. I even have a voice recording as evidence. I am going to confront my mom and stepdad and tell them that I'm going to live with my biological dad tonight. I'll update you all on what happens after edit. Hey guys, about my dad. I actually grew up with a father for 13 years when I lived in France. I know my dad and I still see him 3 to 4 times a year, even though my mom remarried and we moved to Canada. Update 2. My mom and stepdad came home. I was going to do this confrontation alone and not have anyone there. As my parents sat down and asked me why I wanted to talk to them, I got nervous and started to panic. I was going to change the subject and say something like, "Can I paint my walls purple?" But then it hit me I had to toughen up and tell them that I wanted to live with my dad and not with them. If I didn't tell them, I would have been married off and had my life ruined. I was too scared to even call my neighbor or my friend's mom for security. I made my mom and stepdad sit down at the dinner table. I told them that I wanted to move to France and live with my dad. They started telling me that France was unsafe, that I was going to get shot. Then I told my mom that she always wanted me to die. LOL, my stepdad said that Paris is dangerous, and I told him about East Vancouver, Surrey, Detroit, Compton, North Edmonton, etc. There was a lot of yelling, but I told them that if they hated me so much, they should just give up their parental rights and let my biological father deal with me. There was a moment of silence. My stepdad decided to leave because he thought I was being crazy. My mom called me a disgrace to the family. And I said in a very catty tone, "Why don't you damn return me to dad? Unlike you, he actually cares about me, you damn deplorable." My mom sighed and calmly replied, "If that's what you want, I'll go make the arrangements. But you are making a huge mistake and you'll regret it for the rest of your life." The confrontation wasn't as violent as I thought it would be. I had a pocket knife for self-defense because my parents have hit me before. It only lasted about 15 minutes. I'm a bit sad because I thought my mom would try to negotiate with me or ask me what she did. That makes me want to live with my dad who lives in another damn country. It's not like my dad lives in a house across the street or in the same city. He lives in another country. And the fact that I have to move to another country for my safety, sanity, freedom, and well-being sounds damn crazy. Instead, she decided to terminate her parental rights and give me back to my dad. She just threw me away. She never tried to fix our relationship. Most moms would fight, beg, and plead with their last dying breath for their kids to stay. When I think about it, I am better off living with my dad. He actually cares and worries about my well-being. I don't even think I should be sad. I mean, I got what I wanted. I also realize that I'm so fortunate to have all these friends and family members who actually care. And I have these nice strangers online who also gave me good advice. I am better off than most girls in my situation. I mean, I can run off to France and be safe there because I have a caring dad unlike most girls in my situation. The only thing left in my room is my furniture. I packed my remaining belongings into a suitcase and I went to my friend's house. I have already cleared my closet and drawers. I put everything into a box and shipped it to my dad's address. I don't have many heavy objects, and there's a trick on folding clothes to save space. I can share the link if you want. Timeline of events. 5:15 p.m. My parents came home, I confronted them, 5:20. 5:40 p.m., I ran faster than Usain Bolt. To my room, opened my safe and shoved my money debit cards, passport IDs, and my emergency clothes and toiletries into a carry-on suitcase. I texted my friend and asked her if I could stay with her, and she said yes. 5:50 p.m. My friend comes to pick me up and we drive to her house. Luckily, she lives far, far away from me. When I got to her house, her mom bought us 2 plane tickets to Vancouver. My friend is 18 and she could go as my guardian because I'm 16. The flight is 1 hour, 35 minutes. The next flight to Paris, and I'll be there at 8:35 a.m., 6:45 p.m. I called my mom and told her me and my friend were going to Halifax. I didn't want her to chase me to Vancouver. Then she said, "Have fun with that. I'll be on the plane, but I'll keep journaling and I'll make more updates." Thank you all. So much relevant comment. Somebody said, "I'm really glad you've managed to get yourself out of what could have been a potentially disastrous situation. Your mother doesn't sound like she deserves to have a level-headed daughter like you at all. And it is quite sad to see how she doesn't seem to care about the reasons why you're leaving either." I have one question though. Are you absolutely sure your mom was actually arranging your marriage? In the first update, she just said she didn't know what you should wear to her wedding. Are you sure she didn't just mean some other relative's wedding? Original poster replied, "I read my mom's text messages. She told my aunt she arranged a marriage for me." Yuck. Update 2. Same day, me and my friend went from where we live to Vancouver. Our next flight is from Vancouver to Paris. My friend and I jumped on the next flight to Vancouver. Right now, me and my friend are just waiting for our flight to Paris. My dad will pick me up at Charles de Gaulle Airport and my friend will stay in Paris with me for emotional support. I felt bad because my friend had to come with me and abandon her normal routine, but she told me it was okay because she wanted to travel. She told me that she saved up money to travel, but she didn't buy a ticket. So I guess I helped her jumpstart her goal to travel around Europe. Our flight to Vancouver was 1 hour and 35-ish minutes. I don't live far from British Columbia, LOL. Our flight for Paris leaves the next day, so we decided to check into a hotel for the night. I was scared when the plane took off. I'm not afraid of flying. I was afraid that my mom was going to call the police or try to track my location and that this would become a missing persons case. My friend reassured me that my mom was a shitty parent and that I was so close to freedom. A couple minutes after the plane took off and I started thinking about my new life in France, I stopped thinking about my awful family and started thinking about how in 1-2 days I would see my dad, and I'd be free at last. I'll be sitting in a French cafe reading a book or strolling down the Champs-Élysées. I was going back to the City of Lights after 3 years of darkness. The only problem I had was my French spelling and learning how to make friends in France. Another minor issue would be getting used to a new time zone and jet lag. I'm also going to miss my friends in Canada. They help me a lot. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be waiting for a flight to Paris. I'm also thankful for all the advice I got on Reddit. I finally got the courage to call my dad and read every post. When I was 14, I wondered what would happen if I went to France and never returned. I was too scared to stay, or even tell my mom and stepdad that I wanted to leave and go live with my dad. I never knew that. 2 years later, I would be moving back to France. I thought that I would have to wait until my 18th birthday to leave. I even got a part-time job to save up for a plane ticket and to move out when I turned 18. After my mom told me that she would make arrangements last night, I saw it as my last chance to escape before something bad happened. I don't know what they're capable of. I could have been killed, kidnapped, etc. Who knows? By the way, I speak fluent French. I need to work on my spelling because it's awful, LOL. My mom is terminating her parental rights. My dad will get sole custody of me and my mom won't have access to me. I'm not sure how this parental right termination will work, but I know my mom is giving my dad sole custody. I took all of my IDs and documents from my mom's house. As soon as I heard her talking about my marriage, I rummaged through her room and I found a large file folder with my documents in them. To make it less suspicious, I shoved paper in the folder. My mom has a bunch of envelopes full of childhood pictures. I took them all out and placed sticky notes and cards into the envelopes. It may be illegal, but it's petty, compared to forcing a 16-year-old into marrying a 40-year-old. I can still complete high school this year and get my diploma. My bank account has been cleared. There's only $45.79 in there. Now, I have read my mom's text messages. She was talking to my aunt about how she arranged a marriage for me. I took a picture of those messages with my phone, printed them off as evidence, and sent them to my dad. Also, if you're an ex-Muslim and your family is like mine, tell someone. Tell your doctor, teachers, construction worker, employer, mailman, friends, neighbors, etc. I'm not being biased, but it's best to not tell anyone who is close to your parents. I never told anyone who was Desi and Muslim because my mom has nasty friends with snitchy kids who are Desi and Muslim. It's better to tell people who are non-Muslim. I told my friend in French class last year about what goes on at home. He said he was so sorry and said that he was there for me. People actually care. Please tell someone. Overall, thank you all so much for the support and the nice comments. I'll get back to making another update in a couple weeks. I'm going to be in France in 9 hours-ish after I board the plane. Then I can start my new life. Au revoir. Relevant comment, somebody said, sounds like good news. Nobody is trying to stalk and kill you, and you're free of forced marriage problems. If you had not been eavesdropping on your mother, how likely do you think it is that you could have actually ended up in Pakistan in a forced marriage? It sounds like you may have gotten kind of lucky that you learned of her plans before you got duped into getting on a plane. I guess the moral of the story is anyone who thinks they have a parent or parents who might try to dupe them into a trip to some place for a forced marriage probably need to be nosy about what they're up to. Original poster replied, I am very lucky that I have caring friends and a dad who knows my mom is crazy. Before I travel, I let my friends know where I am and when I'll be back. If I don't show up for a while, my friends will know something's not right. And they would call authorities. Also, I'm quite sneaky. I never trusted anyone in Pakistan, and I would have hid my passport, cell phone, and numbers to the French-Canadian embassy. Update 3. More than a month later. So it's been a while since I've made an update here. I am now in France, away from my psychotic, narcissistic mom and stepdad. The friend who came with me has gone to Greece. I've been getting used to France again permanently before I used to visit my dad for a week or two. And I'd just be a tourist, but now I actually live here again. And luckily, I don't have Paris syndrome. I can also still finish high school here, get my diploma and go to university, but I want to take a gap year. And I'm not sure if I want to stay in France for university. Also, my mom's parenting rights have been terminated, and she doesn't have custody of me anymore. Phew, I'm glad I'll never have to see my shitty mom and stepdad ever again. I'm glad my dad isn't Muslim. He saved me from being trapped in an Islamic butthole country and being molested, abused by some 40-year-old that my mom wanted to marry me off to. When the plane landed in Paris, I finally felt free and safe. I wasn't in another country away from my mom and shitty stepdad. It's funny how some of my classmates think that I'm on vacation because my friend posted a picture of her and I when we went to the Eiffel Tower. Only 2 of my friends know what really happened, but I know they wouldn't tell anyone what happened. My first month here has been very weird. My friend wanted to go sightseeing, and I don't blame her. It was fun showing my friend around Paris, but I knew that I wasn't a tourist anymore, and that I now live in France permanently. Overall, I've made friends, and I was still in contact with some of my childhood friends. So, yeah, I didn't have that much culture shock or trouble adjusting. I've been studying French, but my dad said that my French is fine. My dad is mad at my mom for arranging a marriage. My dad told me I was a human being and not a commodity to be sold to the highest bidder. And then he said my mom was a deplorable and a disgusting woman for whoring me out and planning to leave me in a country where I have no contacts, and I don't speak the language. I am much happier now because I'm the only child and I don't have an annoying step. Sister snitching on me to my parents or going through my bedroom. Overall, my life is better now because my mom is out of it, and I want it to stay that way. My dad got my mom's parenting rights terminated, and I think it's amazing because now my mom can't hurt me anymore. I'm not sure what I will study in university, but I also want to do something to help other girls in my situation. I think I want to write a book one day about what happened to me, but I'd have to use a pen name. But I feel so relieved that I don't live with my mom anymore. I have less acne, and I lost weight because I don't have to hide my double life from her anymore. My dad and I went through my childhood pictures, and we cut my mom out of those pictures. Some karma and legal justice, my dad doesn't have to send child support to my mom anymore. And now, my mom and stepdad can't spend a month on useless stuff anymore. Now they are banged. I am just really happy that I have a white, non-Muslim dad who doesn't care if I hang out with my friends or if I fail one small meaningless test. I can actually be a teenager now. Also, I don't have to go back to Pakistan ever again, which is great. But I'm glad I found this subreddit. You guys helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Relevant comment, I followed your story on this subreddit. I'm super glad that things have worked out for you. Please keep safe, though. You are still very young, and crap happens even in civilized places like France. Also, you should pay some attention to your studies. Not for your parents, but for yourself. Not to please anyone, but to satisfy your curiosity about the world. Learning is fun if you do it for the right reasons. I encourage you to start writing down your thoughts and your memories. Who knows, if you are a good writer, someday you might create something like the Anne Frank Diary. But without the tragic ending, I will definitely buy a copy if you do. Original poster replied, True, I like learning, but sometimes I fail in math or chemistry, lol. I have been writing daily ever since I was 15. If I do write a book, I'll send it to you for free.